Okay, it's time to get started on the glow up series I've been talking about. This is how it's gonna work. We're gonna look at 3 big points in time for the game. The first point is when the character first dropped, and I'm gonna be doing season 0 characters, characters who were out on launch, Gohan, Beerus, Goku Black, those characters. The second big point is gonna be season 3.5. That's when we got special tag, I believe. That was another big point, right? Another big point before that was when we got assist, but I feel like just stretch it out to 3.5, because that's when all those crazy buffs and changes came in on top of that. And then the current patch. So those are the 3 versions we're going to look at. When the character first dropped, season 3.5, and the current patch of the game. I feel that those were the biggest impactful changes to the game. One more thing, for better visual clarity, we're also going to have side-by-side comparisons on moves that have changed to before and after, right? And if they've changed multiple times between the 3 patches, it's going to be before, or, and then current, okay? Alright, so the first character is Beerus. We all know Beerus is this crazy powerhouse, menacing character, just super difficult to deal with. And you can tell I'm an older version of the game because 1, the frame data is on top for the delay. 2, there's like no training mode options. I can't show you frame data. We can't even hold triangle or Y to skip by increments of 5 or by 10 in the sound settings. So yeah, that's how you know it's legit. The older version, base version of the game. First thing I want to talk about with Beerus are his normals, okay? So last hit is not an overhead. So you're crouching, right? You get hit by overhead, okay? That's how it works, okay? It's not overhead, right? Back in the beginning, it was not overhead. Alright, on to the next. His 2M does not go full screen. Later, it does. Now, not so much. Beginning to end, trash. Not only that, it was slower back then. On top of all that, it does not go through assist. Remember, this used to be probably one of the worst buttons in the entire game compared to how currently is now. Alright, here's one that'll blow your minds if you came in later. When Beerus does orbs, he can't cancel from them, right? Not a special. So if you kick it, you can't do a special till you recover. So let me just turn on frame data so you can see I'm not crazy. You can't cancel into anything. You just had to let it rock. You're looking back like, what? Like, why? That was bad. Yes, it was. Also, his orbs didn't have hit stun. You could not super dash here and get a combo. That's how bad it was. And then 236S is much faster now. This is so slow. But you gotta remember, since we can't cancel out of orbs, right? We don't get his new combos. So that's so much damage and meter gain loss. You ready for this? Look at 236H. You get no combo unless you call an assist or vanish. This is crazy. No combo at all. You can't do anything to confirm this. Now remember, current version of the game, remember, check it out. You get a full combo. You get a conversion. Even from up here. Nah, when he first came out, did not make sense. Alright, here's another good one for you. Okay, 214H, dive, it goes full screen. But it doesn't give you a ground bounce. So that means if you got air hits, what do? Currently now, great move. Can EX dive, get a combo. Superb. When he first came out, terrible. Did nothing. Alright, are you ready to see something crazy? Look at his assist. It was 1 orb. It had next to no hit stun. But look what happens if he hits the character. Awful. You had to be so ready, and in some situations in such a specific spot, to actually confirm off for this, because he kicks him straight down. Yeah, Beerus has come a very long way compared to now, or I should say then, and how it hits now. I mean, just check it out. Look at the difference. This character literally went from being incomplete to being an actual character. I mean, yeah, you know, it took, you know, a few years, but better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Some of his combos just straight up didn't exist that you think would, like this one. It just whiffs. It doesn't hit him. This poor character, all he could do was... And to get the knockdown, you don't even get a ground bounce, right? You know, to get the little bit of extra damage into assist Dragon Rush. Compared, again, to now, you know, that combo works now, right? You can do all their fancy stuff, but that's something he didn't get till later. It's just a basic combo when you think about it, but back then it was just so bare bones and nothing worked. Okay, now that I've shown you how incomplete of a character he was, let me show you something they actually took away from him in one of the later seasons. He could actually double super by himself if you could angle and position this correctly. But wait, there's actually even more they took away from Beerus. Check it out. Yeah, he could infinitely do this. Why? I don't know. But it was just so stupid and so cool to mess around with. There was probably no practical reason for this. And eventually they flip out. But I mean, this is just so funny and cool. Like, they should have kept this in the game. Maybe not, because somebody would have figured out a practical way. But hey, let's give him more. I'm just kidding. Another thing that Beerus got later in the game was being able to 5H through beams. As you can see, he can't do it here. He just gets stuffed. He does not have privilege now. This is another thing he got later in the game. Alright, so quick recap. Terrible frame data, terrible special moves, took away his infinite, took away his double supers, terrible assist, no invulnerability on any of his moves, not on 2M, not on 5H. You got that? Great. Alright, to season 3.5. Alright, so season 3.5, I just had to show you what they changed for Beerus, right? They made his crouching medium far faster, they increased how active, or I guess how long it was, and now he traveled further, right? And he also got 2 orbs for his assist. So this is when his assist actually became a threat. So what changed for Beerus? Or I guess I should say, what changes has Beerus had done since the original version of the game? Well, EX now ground bounces, so you get a combo, right? Both EX versions of the move, I should say, work better now. His assist, again, now has 2 orbs, and the way it juggles is better. They fly upward instead of downward. Beerus can now cancel orbs into other specials. Big thing, right, that he was missing. Beerus still can't full screen orb kick into Super Dash. That doesn't come until either the next patch or the patch after that. I don't remember exactly, but again, we'll get to the now later. His 2M still doesn't go through projectiles. He didn't get that at this point in the game. So, as you can see, this was probably the most balanced and properly working version they had of Beerus, until they just decided to make everybody canon to the show. At this version of the game, he had a better cross-up heavy kick. He had this before in the first version of the game, but it was a lot harder to hit, but they dumbed it down and made it way easier by giving it a bigger hitbox. Another thing that I failed to realize was that his DP actually got faster. When he first came out, or when the game first dropped, this was far slower, which made it worse because your opponent could hit a button and block if you DP. That's not so much the case now. And now we're at the Goliath known as the current version of Beerus. Like, quote unquote, season 4, season 5. I don't even know where we're at anymore. But let's kind of just have a little montage of what he's able to do now that he wasn't able to do in the previous versions that were shown. Those are the biggest things he's got, but again, some of the smaller changes were just its overhead now. this is a little bit faster than it used to be. By the current version of the game, Beerus's orbs got insanely buffed. As you can see, they're in the beginning of the game, and in version 3.5, you couldn't dash up and jab. You couldn't super dash off of an orb either, as I've shown earlier. Of course, he got other things like more damage on his level 3, for example. It does 50% raw now, 2000 fully scaled, and little frame data changes here and there outside of 236S and 214S. But it will take too long to go into it. So for this series, we're kind of just going to highlight the big changes and not go super into depth with it where we don't have to. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a new series I've been thinking of doing. If you have any characters you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments. If I missed something, please tell me what it was in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!